sad, but I still have a mission. I'm sad, but I still have stuff I gotta do. I'm sad, but I'm still picking myself up. I've made mistakes, I've learned the lessons, I've integrated the knowledge, and now I can navigate that realm a little bit better with this new information and the new wounds that you get from having these experiences in life, whether you're lonely, dealing with confusion, depression, anxiety, relationship issues, whatever the case may be, work issues, who knows? It's like you deal with that discomfort, you feel it, and it's like ingrained, and you're like, I can't stay here. I can't stay here that long. But sometimes you choose to stay there and you have to deal with those consequences of choosing to stay there and feel that discomfort. Sometimes you have to learn this discomfort so you are prepared to deal with this type of influence and energy again in your life, whatever the case may be. So you learn, okay, this is not what I want. This is not what I need to be indulging in or entertaining. When you're processing these emotions and you've lost yourself in something, you have to rediscover yourself, and that's a whole process. And recently, I felt lost and confused. I had a season of being lost and confused and feeling like I don't know which way to go. I don't even know what I like anymore. Things that I used to like, it didn't excite me anymore. I kind of isolated myself, dealt with some difficult situations and relationships. I was at a crossroads. And look at me, back here. And this is where I know I'm supposed to be, because this is where this has been a consistent in my life, being creative. That's something that I love to do. When I was confused and losing myself and forgetting myself and my power, I was hypervigilant, anxious, sad, overthinking, and I felt kind of paralyzed and stuck. And I was feeling sad for being sad and being paralyzed. Like, why can't I move? Like, why can't I feel like I'm going anywhere in my life right now? Like, I feel like I'm just stuck here, because that's where I was supposed to be. I was supposed to feel that in my heart and in my soul. I'm supposed to just surrender to it and feel it all so that I can wake up and see my threshold for enduring pain. Because at the end of the day, life doesn't stop when you have to process your emotions, but God or whoever you believe in will always budget in that time for you to process, so you can think about it over and over again, take accountability, also see where other people may have gotten you messed up, also see where you could have done better, where what you should have looked out for in the beginning, or where you went wrong. You just opened the wrong door. Because anything that you're supposed to have hope about in your life is supposed to bring you peace. You shouldn't be having hope about something that's bringing you anxiety and fret and constant confusion. And I was lost and I was feeling confused because I was in some new territory that I've never really experienced in my entire life. When you're new at something, or you're just beginning to let yourself go to a certain area in your life, relationships, job, whatever, you get a little anxious. You're like, oh, I don't know how this is going to turn out. You have doubts, fears, all these things start coming up. You're just stuck. You just have to sit there and take it. Sometimes in life, you can't control everything. Everything can't be perfect. You're not going to have all the right answers. And I was just coming off a season of being really happy. Like, oh, I released my song, I lost a lot of weight. Like, I was social. And then boom, out of nowhere, I was like, okay, this is my season where I'm supposed to be down bad. And it's okay. These seasons are great for fuel, getting your power back in a different way, rediscovering yourself in a different way. Remembering who you are. It's great. It's actually great. When you're going through it, you're like, I don't see any positives here. But when you're on the other side, you're like, oh yeah, this was definitely necessary. And thank you, God. Because guess what? I'm going to push through. Because I'm still dealing with those effects. Like whatever happened to me, oh, my light went out. Whatever happened to me. I can't undo it. I can't undo the experience. I can't erase it from my memory. It happened. I'm still dealing with it, processing it, but I gotta show up. I gotta go to work. You know, I gotta honor my path, because guess what? When you're in places where you're drained, you're giving too much to something, you're losing yourself. You always have to remember, like, okay, I need to make sure I'm focusing back on myself. It's funny because for me, I'm so patient and I give lots and lots of chances to people, places, and things, because people go to a restaurant, have one bad experience, be like, write a review. I'm never going to this restaurant again. I'm never coming back. Forget this. I'm done. Me, I'll go to the restaurant, have a bad experience, be like, oh, I probably caught them on a bad day. And I'll keep going back. Knowing well and dandy that there are other restaurants that I could go to, or maybe a different location. Cause I'm just like, okay, let me see, like, let me give people the benefit of the doubt, but that's gonna cost me. And it costs me quite a bit. You know, costs you quite a bit when you give, when you're super patient and you're trying to, like, you know, see what else is there, only just to realize, like, the service isn't getting any better. So you gotta take your money elsewhere. Gotta take your value and them coins that you got up for yourself and take it elsewhere, because you're losing. You want to keep losing? That's a choice. You're choosing better for yourself. You're choosing better for yourself. And it's hard. It's hard because, you know, they'll say, you know, it's your traumas, it's your attachment style, you don't know any better, whatever the case may be, right? But either way, you take the L. That's it. Sometimes you take L's. That's it. You can't avoid them. Matter of fact, it's better you just go ahead and get it over with and pick yourself back up. You still got to push through. Yes, poor you. Poor me. I had that experience. Whatever. Gotta keep it pushing. Because guess what? I still know I'm that girl. Like, I still love myself enough to get back to the money. You know, the cloud of depression hasn't just magically disappeared. But I'm using brute force to show up at all costs, to wherever, to my job, here, anywhere. I'm just using complete force. Like, I'm using the pain instead of it, because for a while, pain and the anxiety and all the negative feelings were like making me go downward spiral. No. Now I'm using it to get me in an upward spiral. Now I can, you know, kind of get some wind and fight those clouds off, because I'm letting my energy propel me, the negative energy, the fuel, the pain, to propel me here, to propel me into places that are more productive for my path and my mission, because I know I'm on a mission here. Everybody's on a mission. We're not here for no reason. So, and it's so easy to just be unproductive and, like, in your head all day and, like, think about all the what ifs and what could and waste time. And, you know, I'd rather just fail, take the L, let me pick myself back up. Even though it took me a long time to pick myself back up. It took me a long time. It's all in timing. And if you know about astrology, you would understand, but this isn't a video about astrology, but everything is all in that timing, in that clock. That's what I'm gonna let everybody know. The season will pass. There's gonna be a time where you're gonna have to make a choice. The choice will be clear, and you choose yourself each time. You choose yourself each time, and you rediscover, you feel that fire coming up your body again. You're like, I finally learned. I finally can move forward. I finally gathered all the information I needed from the situation, person, place, or thing. And now I can find my way out. I can navigate, because I'm still on this journey. I'm still moving. I'm not giving up. No, as long as you don't give up, you'll be good. But if you've already given up, then you're just gonna be taking whatever life is giving to you. Scraps. No, we don't want that. You have to choose. You could feel the feelings, the anger, the remorse, the guilt, the sadness, but you still gotta pick yourself up and be like, okay, what can I do? How can I hold this now? Like, now that it's a part of me, because it's happened to me, how can I hold this? How can I take this on my journey? It's part of my baggage. I'm not gonna, I can't throw it away right now because it's so fresh. I just bought it, basically. You gotta figure out how you're gonna carry it. You got to renegotiate the terms of where it's at in your life. For me, I forget that you can always minimize something. You don't have to, everything doesn't have to be bold and big font and huge in your life, and you're overwhelmed, and then you're minimized in the back, on the back burner, because everything else is so big and it's taking over. No. You can be like, okay. Like Iron Man with Jarvis, pulling up the things, making big things there, small. Like that's what you have to do with the things in your life. People, places, things, job, anything. I used to always be like, oh, I'm so tired. I can't do this. I work so much, blah, 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 blah. No, like sometimes you make excuses because you've magnified other things in your life. Like, oh, I need to rest, or, oh, I need to do this. And rest is important, don't get me wrong, but how much rest do you really need? I had to write down and be like, how much scrolling time do I really need? What am I missing out on? Nothing. You'll never really rediscover yourself and get back on your mission until you get fed up, until you reach that threshold. There's a threshold that like everybody has for enduring certain things. Some people have a really small threshold. They'll show up for an appointment, and if you're not right there at that time of their appointment, they're leaving. I've had that happen to me with some clients. Like, I'm like, oh my God, sorry. Like, I was stuck behind a bus. Like, I'm so sorry. I got here. My bad. Please forgive me. Like, I was 1 minute late. I'm leaving. Okay. You have a small threshold. Sometimes that's bad. Sometimes having too much of a threshold means that you're going through longer periods of whatever it is, which is cool because you're able to really see all sides of everything. Some people, they get into something, the threshold is like maybe medium. Someone gets like 1 or 2 chances, or you're not letting everything kind of blossom out and really show, and you're in and out. Like some people, it's like all about circulation. Like, so that threshold of endurance, then you get pissed off. The only time you're gonna change in your life is if you get mad enough. That's it. In numerology, the final number 9 is associated with Mars. Mars is all about anger. And that's the final. Like, you go through all these numbers, go through all these things, you get to 9. You're like, gotta go, gotta cut it off, we gotta do something different now. Because that's when you'll use it as fuel. Like, okay, I gotta push because the same result isn't gonna work for me. And that's good, especially if you're the type of person who's really empathetic to others. And so when you're super empathetic, you make excuses for things, for people. You're justifying everything. You're like, oh, like, it's because they had this childhood or this upbringing, or they went through this, and that's why no, because at the end of the day, you're losing again, the more empathetic you are. And then you're sitting there longer because you're being too empathetic, and that's why your threshold is so long. Because, you wish people would be as empathetic towards you, but no, you're too busy over there giving your empathy out. No, you need to be empathetic to yourself. What results are you actually getting from this? And then that threshold is smaller. It's like what you see with people in the dating world, like the 3-month rule. Like, there's a threshold for everything. Some people will do 6 months, some people will do a year, it depends. But that endurance will wear out, and then you're just like, you snap, like the string will snap, and you'll be like, all right, I'm done. And then you're feeling all the emotions, you're feeling the guilt. You might even feel like you betrayed yourself, but then you're rediscovering yourself. You're like, okay, now I've learned something new, because you're only in this situation because you still have a lesson to learn. You're only repeating these patterns because you still have a lesson to learn. Okay, and then this is the big thing that people miss about it. They're like, oh, I'm learning lessons, but are you integrating the knowledge? If you're learning lessons but not integrating the knowledge, when that thing pops up again, those tests pop up again, those checkpoints, and you're not integrating the knowledge that you should have learned from the lesson, you're gonna be faced with the same things over and over again, and it's gonna keep pulling you back. You're gonna have the same story, right? So you gotta learn about your empathy and your threshold. You gotta learn that even though you're sad, you still got somewhere to be, you still got something to do. And so that way you can take those emotions and let them spiral you up instead of spiraling you down. I mean, the spiral down part, that's usually off the first initial impact, right? Because it's new. When something's new in your life, accept it. Let it take you out. Let it have what it's gonna do with you. Because you have to experience that. You need to feel those emotions. You need to let yourself go. And then you can pick yourself up, go again. You come back to the restaurant. Okay, boom, still bad service. You come back again, whatever. All those things need to happen, and it's budgeted on your path, so there's no need to rush. This is all part of the process. And part of the process is also taking it and using it as inspiration and fuel to get up, to go up, get power, and close that door. Like, be like, all right, this door is closed. Like, I will not be returning through the store anymore. I need to go through other doors that are part of me going to different floors. You know, like, let's say we're all in a big house and we have different doors that we're opening, and you open the door and you're like in the basement, but now you want to go upstairs. But however you want to think about it. But throughout the whole process of rediscovering myself recently, you know, I got a new tattoo. That was gonna happen anyways, but I'm just like, I realized that like, I just remembered who I am. I remember what I have to offer. I remembered my value. I remember all the things that I've done, reminiscing on all the work that I've done, that I put on this channel, that I put on TikTok, that I put on Twitter. You know, I remembered everything, all the people that I've talked to. It's just, you have to just remember, like, okay, this is where I'm actually at. Because when you're in some storms, you're in that cloud, you forget. Because all your energy is in your mind and your heart. Is the brain power and the heart power is used to just kind of figure out and navigate that area. But then you come back out and you brand new. So it's actually cool. It's actually good. So sometimes when I'm getting sad, honestly, I'll be like, oh my God, this is good. Yay. Like, the pain is coming. Because the pain reminds me that I'm real. Like, I'm having a human experience. Like, things are never just always good. They're not. That's, anyone who presents themselves that way is masking. Okay, they're lying. Yeah, the waves of life is what gets me excited. So I'm sad, but I still got a mission. I'm sad, but I still have somewhere to be, somewhere to show up, somewhere to push my energy. I can't just lay in the bed, rot all day, and give my power to a certain situation. No. You give it for a certain time, because sometimes that's needed. Sometimes your energy is what's needed for a person, place, or thing, and you're meant to feel something regarding that, and you feel an L, but then you take the L, you integrate the knowledge, and you come back up. Yeah, I'm happy to be back in my YouTube bag. I have a lot. I've never stopped studying astrology and mental health and learning about people. So I just have to always remember, life does not stop because of your choices. And each choice has a consequence. Sometimes it's very immediate. Sometimes it's over time and you can't see it right away. It's okay to fail and make the wrong choice. What's not okay is like continuing to do that. And when you're on the path of rediscovery and remembering like your power, remembering who you are, because you get that fire and then you're like, okay, you're really happy and amped up about stuff. That's all about, that comes with taking the L. That comes with losing yourself. That comes with making all these excuses. That comes with it. It's all part of the process. But once you dig deep, you get that wound, you feel that pain, you're like, okay, let me show you my big one. God. Because God's like, yeah, I know you got it in you, so I'm just gonna give you this little problem here. Make you lose your medulla a little bit, because I know you're gonna jump right back. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.